everyone. We've got one person in the chat, so welcome to that one person. Oh, two now. Let us know that you're there by saying hi. Tonight I am joined by Eric and Lois. We have no Dan or Jamie tonight, but the show will carry on without them. Who needs them anyway? This is what I say.
Hey.
Hi, Nutu!
Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Hey,
Hi, Sarah, you beautiful woman. You. And
hey, Mark.
Ali. Hello, Mort. So, what are we talking about tonight? Well, tonight we are talking about cannibals, Lois's favourite subject.
Hello,
Hi,
cannibals.
Paul. How are you
Hey,
doing,
Paul.
my
How you doing, my friend?
Hope the family are well with you, Paul. Oh, he's a lovely guy, Paul is. Got a lot of time for that man. So, Lo, do you want to start?
Yeah, I want to hear about the Scottish cannibal that.
Yeah, I want to hear about this Scottish cannibal. Oh, look, and behave yourself because the boss
Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy. Get well soon.
Love you, Jeremy. Love you. Not too much, though. Not like that.
He's fell down the ladder. It's our Nicky boy.
He fell down a ladder? Oh,
Aye, you used to love Jeremy, but because what you say now it's Nick.
Oh, God. Between Jeremy and Nick. Bloody hell. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Terrible. Sorry. Carry on.
It's okay, my darling. Okay, so tonight we're talking about cannibalism. So the first one, obviously the most obvious one, and I should know this well, is Sonny Bean. Sonny Bean was said to be the head of a 45 member clan in Scotland in the 16th century. He murdered and cannibalised over 1,000 people in 25 years. According to legend, Bean and his clan members were eventually caught by a search party sent by King James. I don't even know this because I'm dyslexic. I think that's 6. And he was executed for their crimes. The legend, that he was born in East Lothian during the 16th century. His father was actually a ditch digger and a hedge trimmer. Bean tried to take up the family trade, but quickly realised that he was just no fit to work. So he left home with a woman apparently called Black Agnes Douglas, who apparently shared his inclines for cannibalism, and she was actually accused of being a witch. After robbing and they cannibalised one of their victims, the couple ended up at a coastal cave, which actually you can go and visit between Girvan and Balladray in Ayrshire. The cave was 200 yards and the entrance was blocked by water due to obviously like high tide.
Yeah.
So the couple was able to live there undiscovered for 25 years. They produced 6 daughters, 8 sons, 14 granddaughters. 6 daughters, 8 sons, 14 granddaughters, and 18 grandsons. The grandchildren were produced incest. There was incest between the family. Lacking for regular labour, the Bean clan thrived by lying carefully, ambushing at night, murdering individuals or small groups. The clan actually brought the bodies back to their caves, where the corpses were dismantled and eaten. They pickled the leftovers in barrels and discarded body parts. So basically, as local people began to take notice of the disappearance, several organised searches were launched to find the culprits. One search actually took note of the cave, but the man refused to believe any human could live in there. And it turned out, there was people living in there. So yeah, there's the story of Sonny Bean from Scotland. And it's actually not far away from me, to be fair.
We should go there, Rose. Do you reckon that would be haunted?
I think it would be, but I think the thing that you would honestly need to be watching is the water.
Yeah.
The high tide. As much as I would love to go and visit it, I've got a massive phobia of deep water. So my worst fear would be I would be too lost in time, and then the high
Right.
tide would come. But yeah, there's many places, many people go and visit the caves.
You.
Wow. And I thought that the cannibals that I know about were bad. I think, oh, so that's crazy, isn't it? We got some highs in the chat, guys. So I'm just going to quickly put them up here.
Area.
Hello, sis. Aye, up me chuck. All right, Bri. Security, Bri. Cliff.
Hey, Claire.
And Mr. English is
Oh,
on.
Mr. English. Oh my
English.
God, he's pushed his bed. He's
He
here.
must have done.
It's all right. I'm going to get a shitload of cheek.
We do love him, really. He knows we love him. William's on. Hi, William.
Hey, William.
And we have Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hey,
How are you? Chantel's in the house. Hello, lovely lady.
I can't do Dan's voice, so I've got no chance of doing this dialect.
No, she doesn't smell. She's very swell. We love her well. That woman called Chantel. Love you. That's about all you're getting out of me. I'm not Dan. I can't do it like Dan.
I know.
There's nobody that can do it like Dan.
No.
What a wings, Lois. Aye, that's what I do need if I wanted to go and visit there. The approach is from the beach, but that's still a bit dodgy. Aye.
Oh, you've been Scott. Oh, wow. Her name's
Yeah.
Luna. She was the showgirl.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you know that's going to be in my head? I'm no cannibal, but I got.
Cool.
Hi, English Pharaoh. That's his name. English Pharaoh.
I've actually started a trend now. Everybody's starting to call me English. It's great fun.
Well, I know of a cannibal, and this cannibal is still living and breathing the air that we breathe, apparently, and a free man. Now, this cannibal is in Japan, and if Irene's on later on, I'm sure she'll tell us otherwise, but this cannibal openly ate human flesh. I think he'd been to prison, he's come out of prison, and he's living and breathing and walking around Tokyo, of all places, and leading a normal life. So for me, I cannot fathom the fascination. It's not even the fact that it's human meat. It's the fact, the killing aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So is it our carnal nature coming back to haunt? What is it? Why is it only in certain people that it ignites in and not others? Is it society that are brainwashing us not to eat each other? I don't understand it. I did read up a little bit about a guy in Germany that went online because he wanted to taste human flesh so badly. I think there was a website, a Cannibal Cafe or something it's called. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. And he went online and asked for someone to come forward because he wanted to eat their flesh. And somebody did come forward, and there was a bit of, not that there's anything wrong with it, before everyone jumps on the bandwagon, that there was a gay relationship involved with this, and the cannibal took off this other guy's genital and fried it up and ate it in front of him.
Ouch.
Yes. and I do think that the young man that had his genitalia removed did eventually die of horrific wounds down there, but he was tried and convicted and of the death of this young man that came forward. But even though he was a victim that volunteered himself, how could that be classed as murder? I don't know. I don't understand the grey lines with this, but he actually went on online and asked for someone to come forward, and they did. So it just goes to show what kind of a crazy world we live in. What is
But
all that about, Lois?
I mean, there is people weird fetishes, right? And there is probably people out there that like getting eaten, like the idea of it. Quite personally,
More than likely.
like Chantel, I have that same sort of idea, but no the idea where I would want to physically. But then I suppose, see if you look back at that plane crash years ago, where the
Yes,
plane obviously came
yes.
alive. Chantel, stop reading my mind. Sometimes it's a dangerous, dark place to be in. Stop reading it.
I think she'd
So,
like it.
so yeah, thinking about what Chantel's saying, I suppose when you're in the survival or no mode, we all would do anything to survive.
But in that film and how that was portrayed and what the survivors spoke about is they didn't kill to eat the human flesh. They ate the flesh of those that had already deceased. So there's a big difference with that kind of cannibalism, isn't there? I mean, mentally, you'd be while you're eating it, I suppose. But to survive, yes, I get it. But now, do you really need to eat it? Really?
I would, no, that wouldn't be my type of, it's not my type of thing. I mean, I'm the best of times, I'm not really a listen, I've got 28 voices in my head, and sometimes I just scream shut the fuck up because I just can't think.
On a daily basis at work, I think.
But it's just no my. I mean, at the best of times, I'm not really a red meat eater, so I'm just no. But I'm no vegetarian either, to be fair. See, great minds think alike, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There drew lots to die. Hundreds died. So that survival of the fittest, and people that drew the shortest straw, I suppose, would have to, that I suppose that when you think of it like that, that's a bit like sacrificing yourself. It goes back to a long time ago when people would sacrifice themselves to appease the gods. It's as though, that comes to mind, doesn't it? So Bryce's Island Life promotes it as a matter of protein and culture.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll gain all their victims' strengths. Now, I have to bring this in here, right? So hoodoo medicine. Everyone thinks they talk about voodoo, hoodoo, and all the rest of it, but hoodoo medicine, there's a very, very dark element, and Chantel might be able to elaborate on this, or maybe not. But they in South Africa, I remember I was absolutely mortified about this. There was a guy that sat on a bus and he had a bag with him. Or was it a guy or a woman? I can't remember. I think, well, let's go with the guy, right? So he sat on the bus and he was carrying a bag and it was dripping in blood. Now, over there, they have their wet markets and you can buy literally anything and everything, right? So he thought, well, maybe he'd been to the market and bought a piece of meat, whatever. But the amount of blood that was coming out of this bag, he said, no, there's something wrong. And he called the police. When the guy got off the bus, the police were there waiting for him. And when they opened the bag, it had the head of a young boy that had been freshly decapitated, and when they had asked him what is he doing carrying this bag, it was for hoodoo medicine. They were going to take the eyes to make up some sort of powder because somebody was complaining that they couldn't see very well. Apparently they were going to use the other parts of the head for other things in case patients had come and they wanted, like, because over there, this hoodoo medicine, if I was to complain of a headache, maybe they would have taken this head, ground or did something with the brains or the skull, put that into the medicine, tell me to drink it, and I'd feel a lot better after drinking that. So they were basically killing to order, and it is a form of cannibalism, and it's cannibalism at its most dangerous because this is like killing to order, which should not happen at all in any way, shape or form. People moan about Chinese medicine and the killing of animals to make them feel better. Again, this is another form of that on a terrible scale. It's just horrible. And people are not aware of that actually happening. And even when they buy hoodoo medicine online, you do not know what you're buying. Honestly, don't do it, guys. Just to forewarn you, you don't know what you're buying, what your money is going to, and gangs out there are profiting from it as well. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I've had my rant about that.
Sing it, sister, sing it.
What are your thoughts about it, Eric, about hoodoo medicine and
hoodoo medicine, I don't like it. I mean, like you were saying, all that, it's just the worst form of that culture that you can get into.
Oh, I'm just reading what Chantel says. They're black magic. We're always told never to throw your hair in the bin after a cut. They take it out and do voodoo stuff with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Because burning. Voodoo Chantel. Really? Voodoo.
Hello,
hey, Mr. Manley.
Mr. Manley.
Well, look at the most obvious one, right? And this is me coming. I can't leave my crime show at this, right? But look at the most obvious cannibal out of the serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yes.
And Albert Fish.
No, Jeffrey Dahmer. No, but he said that he wanted to taste it, didn't he? Because he knew it was bad. He knew what he's doing was wrong, but he wanted to do it, so he did.
To be honest, no. Oh, no. I just couldn't. Like, where do you start? Like, seriously?
With a bit of the thigh, and then a bit of the arm, and then a bit of rump. You could have a bit of rump.
I would say more the ass, because it would, it just depend then.
Right. Jeffrey Dahmer, serial killer living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin. The United States murdered 17 young men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Following his arrest, he told police that he had cut up the thighs, biceps, and internal organs of 3 of his victims and cooked them in a stovetop skillet before consuming them. He claimed they tasted like filet mignon.
Oh, God.
Pork.
Mm-hmm.
No, please, no chicken, because I love chicken. No. It could be anything else. Just no chicken.
Next, Cannibals in Wisconsin.
Oh, aye, Dennis Nielsen. Sorry to bring this on Henry. I just can. Are BJ's a form of cannibalism?
Sort of.
I'll tell you what. I'll try it out and I'll let you know.
Brian would go for the boobies. Yeah, I think there's a line too.
But hi, Jacqueline. But how, like, see if you meet somebody, how do you have that conversation, right? How do you, like, even bring that conversation up? Like, hey, nice to meet you. By the way, I'm a cannibal. Like, how do you, what cat up line could you use for that one?
Well, I met
I'd like.
Jeffrey
You'd
Dahmer.
start with, "I'd like to lick you all over," I suppose.
Well, that's something different. That's a, not cannibal.
What would you say then? Oh,
This is a show that you need Dan for.
gives a whole new meaning to having someone round for dinner.
Have you guys ever seen? I don't think Eric's probably seen it, but the IT crowd. It kind of this subject kind of reminds me of because of Moss, because Moss sees Moss sees an advert and he thinks that he's learning how to cook, and when it goes round to the guy's house, excuse me, the guy's actually saying. The guy's actually turning around and saying to him he wants to cook him, and then he tries and distracts him by watching the TV. With BBC.
Bum and boob casserole, BBC. Hi, Jacqueline. Mark, I've sent you a link, but you don't need the link. There he is.
What? Oh.
Oh, you didn't bring him on, did you? Oh,
He's had
hello, fella.
he's had his bum and boob casserole, and he thought he'd join us.
Hey, so yeah.
So you're talking
And
about
just
cannibalism, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about that? There was a dude caught in America, wasn't there? And he had a little, killing shed in the middle of nowhere with a shack, and he was going online and he was advertising for people, and you get these people.
Another one that goes online to advertise.
Yeah, and these people go on there and say, "I'll be your willing supplicant. I'll be your willing victim. You know, I've always wanted to try it, blah, blah, blah." And he was getting these people, he was hanging up by meat hooks, gutting them, cooking them and eating them. And he wasn't just doing it for himself, he was doing it for a series of people, and he eventually got caught. I can't remember his name, but some of it's... hey, Jacqueline, it's supposed to taste like pork, apparently, so which is a bit of a pit because... hey, Rita, because I like pork. I like a good roast pork.
It's cheap meat as well, isn't it, pork?
Cheap meat, yeah. But like I say, I mean, is are blowjobs a form of cannibalism? I don't know.
Only if you bite it off, apparently, somebody said in the chat.
Oh, okay, all right. Just asking.
Just
everybody.
About earlier, Armin Muse posted on the internet and seeking a young man willing to be slaughtered and eaten.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. You've got to have something wrong with you to do that. You really have. You know, like, I mean, I've heard of some weird stuff, but you know, I understand why it was a tribal thing, and I understood why they did it because I thought that they were absorbing the spirit of the warriors that they killed in battle, and by eating their flesh, they were absorbing their spirit and their strength, and it added to their strength. So. But people like that, like the Japanese ones, advertising for people who, just no. I'm not going to be on very long. I'm only going to be on for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to boogity off again.
What about the aspect of depending on how they're going to kill you to do it and cook you and eat you? Would your spirit come back with body parts missing?
One of the ones I read about, he chopped his tallywhacker off. Then there was no anaesthetic or anything, and cooked it and ate it in front of the dude, and the dude was like, "Oh, you know, crack on."
That was the German guy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that did that
and it's just like, what?
Because didn't he put bands round it or something?
Even so, what? Just no. I mean, is that what happened to me in a former life? You know?
I wonder. You were cooked and eaten.
Yeah.
Ow.
But yeah. Hello, Badger.
Yeah.
Badger.
And it says you have to be sick in the head. You have to be really sick in the head to want to do something like that.
Yeah, you got to be... Nah, but... no, that's just a bad idea. Bad.
Ghost Trackers UK, hi! Big shout out for Scott. Yeah, no...
Jack the Ripper. I'm not sure if he did eat some of the parts.
There's no evidence to say, is there? But
No.
he did take some parts away with him. Doesn't mean that he ate them.
That's because there is a head in the cabinet behind me, but
Excuse me. Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
his ghost cabinet.
Yeah,
Haunted
yeah.
items.
Yeah, no, there's a big pig in pig, and there's the Churchill, the dog, who's in there as well.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yes. That's what Churchill says.
But yeah, I mean,
Where are you gone?
All right. Bye.
All right, see you later, then, Mark.
He was like, fuck this shit, I'm away. There's plenty of other bands. There's tribes as well. There's one in, I'm sure, in Africa. There's a tribe in Africa. And then you've got the ones that Michael Rockefeller. I can't even remember that tribe's name. I know it begins with a name, and I'll probably slaughter it if I try and say it. But he was trying to reach out to the tribe.
Yeah.
And apparently the second visit, they were fine with him. The first and the second, I think it's the third time when he went over that they killed him and they ate him. And I just think, why would you risk? But that's not somebody ate Mark. Wasn't it me? Not guilty.
Me. Could have been his missus.
Aye. Hey,
Hi,
Bonnie.
Vaughn. How are
Hey.
you?
It's ages since we've seen you, Bonnie. Where you been hiding?
She's been a busy lady.
But it's like, why would you, if you know, like, a tribe are no one to communicate, why would you then try and reach out to these people? Especially, I've seen some of the things that these people have, like they have bow and arrows and spears, and I certainly, when they like to be chucked, I mean, that's not the first person. There was another guy that was preaching Christianity to a tribe and ended up dead and ate. And it's just like one of the ones that, oh, no.
Well, Hawaii is notorious for their headhunters, which did the same thing, 8 people. So,
but then people could argue that we're red meat eaters, so it's different for a person, well, from us to somebody that, well, cannibalizes, because really it's all red meat.
well, I think cannibalism is defined by the fact of eating your own species, though. Because there's a monkey tribe in Africa that eats their own, too. So
I think that one's instead of their own.
I don't know if you guys had that in America, but or across the world, but we had it over here, and I don't know about Scotland. But they did the live postmortems. Did you ever watch that on TV? Live postmortems?
yeah, I've seen the stuff like they block off stuff here. You know, they kind of fuzz it out. But Dr. G Medical Woman, they did that.
So they did one. They did one over here about where your food came from.
Yeah.
And they did one about the pig. They took the pig into they showed you from when the pig was alive and walking right the way through to food on your plate.
Oh yeah.
And they showed you how they prepared the pig. So the pig was killed. Then it was put in, to me, it just looked like rollers with hot water. And these rollers, they took off, the pig's got lots of very fine, spiky hairs on it.
Yeah.
And it was at that stage when they were sort of it was sort of like cooking it, but not. It was just hot water, brushes, these rollers. And at that point, the guy that was doing this abattoir thing, he mentioned is at this point, the pig is the closest living thing to a human being when it comes to the flesh, the taste, everything. That this is at this point. I know that they use parts of the pig in transplants, in body parts. They are taking things from the pig and transplanting them into us to save lives. So
Yeah.
there has to be some kind of connection. They say the nearest living animal to us is the monkey. Is it really? I have to ask, is it the pig? Because if people are saying that human flesh tastes a lot like pork, and even this guy that did this thing on the telly, he said about this is the closest thing to human flesh. Is he right? Has he tasted human flesh? I had to ask myself.
I don't know if it tastes like human flesh because I've never actually tasted human flesh, but I know though that they do use pigs for insects, and it is the closest to us that you can get. So that's why they use it like that.
I feel more comfortable. See, trying to lean and trying to sit. I was like Jamie, making everybody feel seasick.
It's fine. Jamie's terrible. So well, there's some stuff here. Hang on. Von says, I go from Von. She says, busy, busy, busy.
Oh, my love.
This country is so savage. It's probably not limited to a party last tribal thing. To put it into perspective, how fundamentally remorse-free we are. In all the African languages, there is not one single word that means sorry. Really? Wow. All the language uses the English word for sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Lola is a demon, so she's you do realise who's getting sacrificed first, right, English? See one this year. Oh, wow. Party last was meant to take a walk.
Oh, yeah, I know about the monkey. Yeah.
Brains. Monkey brains.
But the eyes have to face away. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the live monkey that goes in the table when it's alive, and they have to bash it over the head. I've seen all that stuff that goes on, and that is barbaric. It really is. And that's done at the actual table while you're dining. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, I would kick the Darwin theory right out of the window. Seriously. I've seen some of these specimens down here in Cambridge and how he's collected them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, makes you think, doesn't it? Gives you food. I think Dan must be eating a human dinner tonight for his tea. I don't know where Dan is tonight.
I was looking forward to giving him a shit ton of cheek. I've got it all saved for him.
To be fair, he hasn't been very well, so, you know, he's okay. He's okay, is our Daniel. He's getting there. He still has a few little issues, but he's doing really well. Just in case you guys were wondering where Dan was, he's not been very well. But we wish Dan all a speedy recovery, don't we?
Yep.
I suppose so.
You suppose?
I suppose. It's not my fault I got gonorrhea. I think I'll stick to
fish. Depends what fish it is, I suppose.
I stand
Yep.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Does throw Darwin's theories out of the window a little bit, doesn't it? You know, the evolution of man. But hey ho, who are we? Right, so I want to just get something out there, and this is personal. This is not on behalf of any network or on behalf of any of the presenters on both networks. This has come from me personally. There has been a lot of hype in the last couple of weeks from a certain young gentleman, and he isn't very well, and I just want to wish him. I'm not even going to mention his name because if he sees this, he'll know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to wish him a speedy recovery and just get well soon. you know who I'm talking about. If you're watching this, you will know who you are. So I just want to say speedy recovery to you, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just get well. All right? That's it. So that's my rabbit hole that I've been down.
Oh.
But it's been sort of a bit of a cryptid one, but cryptic one, not cryptid. I've got cryptids on the brain.
My rabbit hole. Well, we went down a rabbit hole, funny enough, on the Dark Mirror and on Frighteners. Well, it all started off in Frighteners because I was sending Nick a pic of Crocs. And
Oh,
everybody
yes,
thought I was
the
saying-
croc thing.
The Crocs, right? The boys couldn't believe it last night when I said, near Cadellan actually, when I said I couldn't get Crocs in my size because I'm a 10.5 in foot. So
Have you seen these Crocs? Right, I have to show you something, and you're going to want them. Right? Hang on.
Oh, I can get.
is it got Dwayne the Rock Johnston on it?
No.
Oh well, it don't matter.
I just wonder if I can find them.
See, if it's got a picture of that on it, I'll take it.
You can get some with them on it too. I found a pair.
These are the best Crocs ever. They're not even Crocs, but they look
Wait.
like Crocs.
Hey, I wonder if you did this.
I'm just
Let
gonna
me
put
see.
them-
Let me see those sexy Crocs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'd take the blue ones. I'm for that one.
Now, you could wear them ghost hunting, I suppose, couldn't you?
If you wanted to.
See if I was a ghost and I seen somebody wear a pair of Crocs, I'd be like, "What the fuck do you call them?"
Honestly, I think like a pair of
I
skull
have to wear
Crocs
them.
are the way to go. But I went into a very well-known store to buy some trainers. Can't mention the store because we're not supported by them. So yeah, I'm not going to give them free advertising. But anyway, I went in this very well-known store to buy some trainers. And while I was in this store, do you know that Crocs have gone ballistic? They do Croc boots, Crocs that come up your leg that are sandally type things, Crocs that are like shoes, proper shoes.
Yep.
The Crocs have gone absolutely mental. They're not like the old-fashioned Crocs that you'd see that people wear on the beach. Because I admit, I have a pair of Crocs that I wear when I go in the sea because I have a fear of something coming or me treading on something and something biting me in the sea. So I have to have something on my feet before I go in the sea. And it's a seaweed thing, I think, as well. So I always tend to wear Crocs in the sea. I've got one pair of Crocs and I've had them years, and that's what I wear them for. If I go in the sea, I'm wearing my Crocs like that. So I admit, I've got a pair of Crocs, but that's the only time you'll see them coming out.
Yeah, me
I
too.
bet. Sorry, you go, honey.
Well, it's because I don't like stepping on stones when I go swimming, so I wear my Crocs to walk out to the sandbars. And
A lot of like people in my profession wear Crocs, because one of the guys, I know on Dead Palloway, I looked in at his feet and I was like, really? He's like, would you not wear a pair? And I'm like, you wouldn't catch me dead in them.
Would you? You wouldn't wear them out or be seen out and about wearing Crocs, would you? Well, I wouldn't.
Oh God, hell no. Oh hell no. No. You wouldn't catch me dead in them.
well,
Cocks and stuff.
stuff for like investigating and that, what you guys are talking about. I've seen women go on lives with high heels on them. Really? You really want to make that much noise when you're walking around investigating. Okay.
I mean, there's about making good impressions and then there's taking the piss. Like wearing like high heels, like God's earth. How many like uneven surfaces that we work across. I can't imagine walking in high heels. And my biggest fear out in investigations, and I hate them, and everybody laughs at me, right, is what I refer to as shortbread stairs. I have got an absolute phobia of them. I would go up.
Are they the smallest step? Like they're not very
Uh-huh.
wide, they're quite narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a huge phobia of them. I won't go down or up them. I've tried saying to myself, kid when they don't exist, and just walk. And then I'll get up in like 3 or 4 and my brain starts to think.
Because it's
And
like
then I'm like, oh no.
You've got to run up those on your tippy toes, and it's like, imagine that you've got a pair of heels on but you haven't, and it's just literally going up the stairs on your tiptoes rather than putting your whole foot on. There's a lot of spiral staircases like that.
Oh, I know, I hate them. Because when I was at one of the castles I was visiting, my friend wanted me to go up them, and I was like, and I wouldn't even go down the other side of them. And I'm like,
I haven't got the picture on this phone. There is a flight of stairs that I climbed in Romania, in Bran Castle. And not only are they what you call the shortbread stairs, they're very old, but it's very narrow. So you couldn't get 2 people go past. You either have to go up and come down a different route. You can't come back. You couldn't have somebody coming back down the stairs. It just wouldn't work. So you've got the shortbread stairs, and then it's very narrow, and you've got very old, coarse bricks either side. So you can hold on to the walls as you run up, and if you miss a step, like you could just heave yourself up it.
Well, I don't know about a lot of them, but I know I've heard a few stories about the castles in Scotland where they have a musicians gallery, and the things are really short to get up to the musicians. Like, okay, well, how do they get all those instruments up there and walk up? You literally have to go.
Oh, I know. The amount of times that I've banged my head off of places like that of where you think, oh, I'll get through this, not a problem, and you just end up banging your head off it. I feel bad. Sciatic is really, really poor.
Sarah, I've got a TENS machine that I bought out of a chemist, and you just have to change the sticky pads every now and again, but I swear by that machine. Get one.
Did you hear about the suspected book?
So it's a suspected toenail, so there's no proof it came off of the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay, and they said that the DNA that we don't know of, but similar to a human. Well, when I was in this guy's very famous museum that he has, and he had collected hair samples, and he describes the hair itself has it's like an inner follicle inside every hair shaft, and they had a bear hair from a bear that they showed you with the follicle. It had its patterns in there. They showed you a human one. They showed you a bear. They showed you all these different hair follicles. Then they had this other hair that they claim came from a Bigfoot. But when they showed you the hair and the follicle from a Bigfoot, there is no inside follicle at all. It's missing. So they have got nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
So how would they know that the toenail was from a Bigfoot? How would they know? How would they? I just I'd have to question it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Mr. Varro, I just seen what you put in my wall. I'd never wear Crocs, I'm too well not.
Yeah, people, if you had a pair of them on, I'll tell you, Ian. Croc trainers.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Hiya, Mr. Seedon.
Sarah, go to your local pharmacy and see if they have one, because it comes with pads, and they're not expensive to buy anymore, about 20 quid or something like that. But it's something that you can use forever, and it's battery operated.
That's what he said.
Very Eric, behave.
Wasn't me.
Behave, Eric. Was you? Dirty.
It was Eric. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing towards them. Up that way.
Oh, yeah.
I can't stop playing with it. So.
What? Let's have a look at it. Do you want to show everyone? Are you going to show anyone or not yet?
You want to show? Yeah, I'll show this one. The one that I made.
Look at that, guys.
Ooh.
How cool is
One
that?
cat is scared of it, another one likes to rub up against it, so I don't know.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I must admit, I really like it. The Jar of Doom.
Lois, you're picking this one.
Oh, okay then. Stop!
Have one. This is what we're talking about next week, guys.
Oh, can history really repeat itself? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well,
See, go me, go Lois.
Go Lois. Go Lola. She was a showgirl.
Do you know that English arsehole put that on my wall? He put Coca Cabana. I was like, you dick.
That's the same, but I said the last part of it wrong.
That's cool, Eric. That is cool. Your Skullingtons are cool.
Yes. Cool.
I thought they were a little bit smaller, but I'm glad that they're this size too, because it's perfect. So,
You could make a paranormal music box out of one. Does it open up?
thinking about doing something like that in the future, but there's a couple other things I want to do.
You could play Coca Cabana in it. Send
Good.
it to you.
There's actually an audio chip that you could buy that you can record whatever you want on it, and then hook it up to like that, like a motion detector to when it plays that scary music or whatever you want.
You'd have to have it like somebody speaking, say, "Ooh, it's a ghost," or "Hi, I'm a ghost."
Mhm.
Everyone say hello. Or something like that. Oh, I don't know, something really silly. Somebody with a really creepy voice. Don't
I was
tell.
gonna creepy laugh, like the skeleton.
I've actually got the best person in mind to do a voice. English. I think you'd see if you message English and say Lois recommended that you do a creepy voice. He will. He loves things like this.
I'm going to sing this for you, right? Her name was Lola. She was a demon. She wore iron in her hair and her coast downstairs. She was a demon.
Do you know, Ian, I was going to upgrade you this week, but for being an asshole, you're downgraded.
Oh.
We should do a song about that, about Lola being a demon, and do a little parody online. What do you reckon, Ian?
I would be up for that. I think that would be a scream.
Yeah. Would Big Nose get upset because we've used the theme of his song though? I'm on a sue us.
He could sue me, but I've got fuck all.
I'm sure he'd want to be in it.
Oh, well, be in it, of course.
No,
You just need to tell me when.
Mr.
Manolo.
Manolo.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Barryman.
Is he?
Is he
I don't
not?
think he is. No.
No.
I don't think he is. He's just old now. Mind
He's
you,
over the
he was old in the 70s.
So, you know what I'm actually subscribed to? I'm actually going to wait till the wee man's in bed, but I've been looking for a new streaming site to watch because I'm getting quite bored of Netflix. And I ended up, I've actually subscribed to Shudder, and it's all the horror movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm actually going to sit and watch that tonight. I think I'm going to try and find something to scare me. But I think I'm
Well,
that immune to horrors that
I'm very excited because on the 27th of July is the next. They're dropping then the next lot of The Witcher. I'm hooked on The Witcher, and my son broke the news to me that the actor who plays Geralt, the Witcher himself, is going to be replaced by another actor. I'm thinking, no, you can't do that. But
no.
I do like it. So anyway, so I'm quite excited for that. But I'm easily pleased. I'm a bit. Well, Dan says I'm like Tim, nice but dim. Can you say?
I absolutely love that character for Harry Enfield, especially when he sells a painting and actually gives the guy money with the painting. I'm like, how fucking awesome is that? Like, you're going to sell something, but you walk out with the paint and money.
So if you was to go into a shop, here's a question for you both. If you was to go into the shop and buy something and you give the woman a £5 note and she gives you change out of a 20, so you get more money back than you actually spent, and the item, and she gives you a receipt and everything, would you tell her or would you just take the money and go?
Nope. I tell her. I do that all the time. I tell them when they make a mistake.
I'm the same. I've no got it in my head to feel like that. Like, I couldn't live with myself. Like, personally, like, no.
Do you know, I told the woman, I went into a shop, and this weren't that long ago, and I bought something, and it was like £3 something. I gave her a fiver, and she gave me the change of a £20 note. And I said to her, I think this is wrong. And she looked at me and gave me daggers. And then she said, check your till receipt. And I checked the till receipt, and she isn't putting £5 note in, like, because they rely on the tills to tell you how much money that you're going to get back in change. And I said, no, I gave you £5. She said, no, you didn't. And she was adamant, and she got really shirty with me. But the very fact that she got shirty with me, I just said, okay, sorry, my mistake. And I just took it and left.
Yeah,
I thought, you know what?
Yeah, and I would do that, but
Oh no, I mean, you get people I feel dead sorry for the ones that have just started and they get like dead flustered in that. And I've been in the situation where, like, I've had somebody that's got dead flustered and you try to keep them calm, God love them. And, but no. But if that woman was doing that way, then by right, so fuck it.
The fact that she got shirty, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you.
No. If you want to give me extra, where is this shop, by the way, so that I can go check it out?
That was Tesco's.
Oh, Tesco's, I'm not get away with that shit. Too many folk.
Yeah.
well, I'm surprised she did that because they get charged that. If they're too short, they get charged for it.
Well, my brother, when he was alive, God rest your soul, Nick, he used to work the turnstiles at Chelsea Football Ground as his little part, because he loved Chelsea Football Club, so he wanted to be part of it. And he got a little job on a Saturday working at the home ground at the turnstiles. And they used to say to him, you're allowed to make so many mistakes. So what he used to do is, right, I'm allowed to make so many mistakes per match. He used to get his mates in for free. He goes, just come in. He says, I'll just get you through. I'm allowed these X amount of mistakes. He used to get all his friends in for free.
I love his style. Absolutely love his style.
Because to buy a ticket to see a Chelsea home game was just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, oh, I'm allowed to make so many mistakes. He says, come down. He says, come to my turnstile. He says, I'll get you in. I never went. But, yeah.
Oh.
And I think I would do the same as well if it was me. But, yeah, you guys do anything exciting this weekend?
Well, hopefully the rest of my stuff comes in. I can finish my REM pods and then get them out.
Cool.
Amazing. I'm having a quiet weekend, I think. No, I might be night shift on Saturday night, But for the rest of the week, really, it'll be spend time with my Wayne, spend time with my nephew. Podcast Thursday, podcast Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, anything goes. Oh, we opened the Goldfish Bowl last week and said, if you have got any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, what a laugh. What a laugh. This Friday, so that's what we're doing. Thursday, I'm sure we're doing the Hillside Strangler. Poor Nick,
Yeah.
I have been saying to him for weeks we're going to do it, and I keep forgetting. It's like, seriously, it's like my brain can only acute at that one moment, and then I'll say to the boys, I'll probably do their tits in with it, but I'll probably say to them, right, what are we speaking about this week? And then I'll pick a subject and Nick will be, but Lewis, we said we're doing this, and I'm like, just slap me.
Well, guess what I'm doing on Sunday?
Oh,
on Sunday. It's a weird day to do it, but why not? Sunday, I am going ghost hunting with the man that is Dan Winter. And he doesn't know this yet. I need to ask him if I'm allowed to bring a virgin with me. I'll say she's not a virgin as in downstairs virgin. She's never been on a ghost hunt, doesn't know what it's about, hasn't got the foggiest, doesn't watch paranormal shows, nothing. So we'll be taking somebody with us that doesn't have the foggiest what it's all about.
Wow.
So that will be interesting, and it will see if it changes the energy, because me and Dan, when we go to this particular place, we get shitloads. Does it change energy? Does it, it's a bit of an experiment, but I'm using this person as the experiment, but Dan knows nothing about it yet. Wow. So either he'll say yes or he'll say no, just me and you, whatever. But so if Dan is well enough, we are going out ghost hunting.
Oh, smashing. I'll be thinking is.
Yes. Even if it's raining, we're still going.
When you went on holiday, you had to convert Scottish money. I used to do it when I've been in Glasgow. I'd come back to Hastings, go to change that.
Can't you use that in Scotland too? Or do you have to change it?
Well, in Scotland, they give you obviously Scottish money and English money, but certain places here in England will not accept Scottish notes. They will not accept.
I've had that experience where I was knocked back. Was that he say? So you're taking low. Oh, I'm going to slap you. I'm going to slap that bitch right at you.
Oh dear, are you taking any on Sunday? No, it's just literally me and Dan just wanted to get away, and he wanted to get his foot, dip his toes back in it, so to speak. And because he's still a bit uneasy on his feet, it was just going to be the two of us, and we were going to have an easy one, And somebody has asked me, what is this ghost hunting? What is it all about? And I said, do you know what? Why don't you come? Well, what do I have to do? I said, nothing. Just sit there, drink coffee.
You're basically in a stakeout. Just sit there, just have a chill. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, are you going anywhere? Are you taking any cannibals?
I don't own any.
Are you going anywhere near water or wells or holes?
There might be a well.
Anywhere?
There will be a well. There will be a well.
Well, take English and drop that fucker down it. Head first. Drink coffee, be ghost bait.
Basically about it.
Honestly, the things that we have got are not known at the time. We'd have, if the wall hadn't have been there, an apparition of someone standing behind a wall, and we've got them like in sections walking.
Wow.
It's quite weird. There's a weird tree. I don't know anything about this tree, but it's a weird tree, and we've seen things around this tree, and this person, whoever it was walking towards the tree. The arguments we've had, we used an app. Okay, we used this particular app, and we had somebody speaking in French, this man speaking in French, and then we had this woman speaking in French. We didn't understand what was going on, and then they started arguing with one another.
Yeah.
It's as though the woman didn't want the man to talk to us, and she was having a go at him.
Wow.
Really weird, really weird. And so we decided, it could be the app. Changed the app completely. Different device. The same thing happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not a lover of apps. I will only endorse one.
Yeah.
And for personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a lover of apps, but for that to happen across different apps, it's too much of a coincidence. Or are they all running off the same? Are they all a big con? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like, maybe we should stop doing the app thing and just concentrate on
my
EVPs.
It was seeing the Estes method done by two people that were talking to two different spirits, and they were talking to each other. The spirits were. That was weird.
Well, we've done the Estes method, Dan and I, and we've had the same box with the adapter on. So we've got two different sets of earphones.
Yeah.
And then we both had the blindfolds on, and we went back to back. And apparently the result of that was me and Dan having an argument. So whoever I was picking up was saying things, and then Dan, whoever he was picking up, was having a go at me for saying things. It was just really weird.
I know.
So there was an argument that went on with that, and that was on a spirit box.
Wow.
And it wasn't one of these new SP7s or anything like that. That was an old Sage and Hack Shack one that we've had for years. It's like your original version of a Frank's box, if you like. It was something like that we used, and that was a bit weird. Why would and a bit. Dan was actually quite rude, swearing at me. So, yeah, but it wasn't Dan. It was whoever he was hearing. But we're listening to the same channel. We're listening to the same thing. I'm picking up on this, and I can hear it word for word. And Dan's picking up on this, hearing it word for word. But when the people that were watching it, luckily it was recorded so we could see it back, we were arguing with one another. It's quite funny.
To be fair, I'm surprised Dan won. I'm surprised you let that guy win. Being dropped down a well will make a chance.
Don't let him out of there now until his ears are growing mould.
He's going to get a kick right in the shins. I couldn't agree more.
I have one app that I endorse, and the reason I endorse it, I wasn't even there, and I sent somebody to sit at the grave of my brother.
Yeah.
She wanted to use this app at the grave of my brother, and she asked me permission. I said, go for it. She said, I'll record it and I'll send it to you. I said, yeah, you don't have to, but yeah, go for it. She sent me that recording, and all through it was a load of shite until she asked one question at the end. And she said, Nick, can you tell me without a shadow of a doubt, is there life after death? And in his voice, I heard the reply, and he's got a distinctive voice. Of course there is. Wow. I didn't say anything. I cut it to just a little bit before and a little bit after, and I played it to my mother, right? I said, here, Mum, just listen to this and tell me what you think. And when she heard that voice saying, of course there is, she burst into tears. That's my Nick.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
now, no app could do that.
No
app could do that. And because of that one experience with that app, I will fully endorse it. Since then, I've had my name, first and second name, calling for me. And two other people that were with me, their first and second name, and this app had said it this other person first, then my friend, and then me, and called us by a first and second name, one after the other. How could that app, I mean, calling a first name is one thing, but to say Vivian Powell and then whatever else it was going to say, it's just unheard of.
Yeah.
And that is the only app that I will endorse personally.
Well,
All the others compared to a shit.
Yeah. Well, like that one that I think it was Cliff that was saying that my name was called out because the lady was talking to me on live when I was putting in comments, and she was going, "Eric, I don't know this or whatever," and the app said, "Who's Eric?" I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, I mean, saying a first name, could it be a coincidence? Yeah, maybe. But when you get first and second names, and I've taken that app on ghost hunts, and even other people sitting in the room have had first and surnames, and that has just completely blown my mind. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, if it does need updates and things like, you don't have to. And I really hope and pray that I can get the creator of that app on a show and talk to him about it, because he's not one that goes around, you must buy my app, this is the latest, greatest. He's not like that at all. Not at all. And you don't hear him slagging off other apps either. He's, I like him. I like the app that I used. And I tell you now, it's not a British guy that made this app. He isn't.
Made in Britain. It's shit.
Yeah, he's got a few other apps out there. They're not as expensive as the one that I use. You can get it a bit cheaper, but you still have to pay for it. The other ones, no, I'm not enamored with them. I have played with other apps, I have used them, but none of them have caught my attention like this particular app. But yeah, so if you're watching Danny Big Beard, I'm talking about you and EchoVox. There you go. I've given it away. Oh dear. Well, anyway, I have an app I use and said, this is a load of crap. If you can name the only person in this house as well as me, I'll leave it. It bloody did. Did you leave it, Annette? Did you leave the house?
I had that with two separate. I said Wayne.
See, and that's one thing I don't get about some of these things that I watch. Well, just do this for me, I'll leave. I'm like, why? When you're getting activity, all of a sudden you got to leave because you said you're going to leave. Why would you say that?
Here's the thing. I used to, I don't do this anymore, but I carried things around me, and somebody had said to me on a ghost hunt, oh, what's the point of carrying all that? You can't use it all at once. And I thought, cheeky bastard, I'm going to use it all at once now. And I laid them all down, and I had the obvious.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, Andy. He said hi. I had an Ovilus laid down. I had an app that I was using, and I put my voice recorder down, right? And all I said, and I had a fellow investigator with me, and I said, if you're here watching us now, and there was just the two of us there, so if you're here with us now, can you tell me the name of this person? And I pointed to him. Straight away, my Ovilus said, I don't. The app said, think. And I played the voice recorder back, and it said, so. I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
Work that out. I mean, he was so gobsmacked. He says, what the hell? I'm not doing any more with you. That's just freaky. And he refused to work with me for the rest of the night. I said, well, let's see if we can do this again. He went, no way.
See, now I'd be the opposite. Like, let's do that again. I want to see if it works. I don't get.
Yeah.
Some people are just cocky. I mean, as I said, that the only ever, time that I can think about having somebody like that is when we went to my very first ever investigation, and it was one of the workers in the hotel. and he was very, very skeptical, and he said, "Oh, I don't believe in this." And when we went into a room with him and the manager, and
Oh, we love
Terry
Terry.
Williams, he had obviously the guy that was the owner of the team basically turned around and said, "Can you name somebody in the room?" And the EVP came back with his name, and I've never seen somebody drain so quick the colour. He went absolute chalk white. And after the investigation, when I had to take the keys down to the front desk, and he turned around and he was like, I said, "Are you alright?" And he said, "Do you know what?" He says, "I would have said this was a load of bullshit." He says, "Until that happened to me." He says, "And I've never," he says, "felt fear." He says, "It was pure, oh my God." He says, "But now," he says, "I do believe there is paranormal."
Yeah. How do you feel when you have your name called out more than once? How does it make you feel on an investigation? And I'll tell you the reason why I'm asking this in a minute.
Well, I think it's cool. I mean, I thought it was exciting. I wouldn't mind it happening every single time, but you know, I'm not a person that it takes a lot to make me fearful. A lot.
What about you, Lo?
It gives, it gives me goosebumps, but it also gives me butterflies because I think to be acknowledged, like for a ghost to be able to, or spirit to be able to repeat your name back to you. Like I've had where I had a mischief one, and I said, because I like to introduce myself, not many folk do, but I do.
Yeah.
And I'd obviously said, "Hi, my name is Lois." I said, "What's your name?" And I went, Lois back at me, and I went, "No, I'm Lois." I said, "What's your name?" And I went, "Lois." And I went, "No, that's my name." I said, "What is your name?" And it was like backwards and forward for 10 minutes solid, and all it kept saying was Lois, 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 Lois. And I was like, it does, and makes you feel, I don't know, giddy.
So I was on a ghost hunt with a team that I belonged to years and years ago, and what we did, because there was quite a few of us on this team, we'd split up into two groups. So I would take a group away, and somebody else would lead another team. And I had this group of people, and I won't say where it was. We were investigating a jail, and it was connected to an old court system as well. And while we were there, I had my team in a room that was quite pleasant, had all these things around us, and we were getting on, doing what we were doing, having a really nice time, laughing, joking, and we were getting some hits, and it was great. I get called away. "Vivian, you need to come with me now. We have an issue."
No.
I said, "Okay then." So I left somebody in charge with my team of people. I said, "I'll leave all that equipment there. I'll be back. Like, you're in charge of that. Make sure you don't break it or I'll kick your teeth in," the usual stuff. And they laugh at me. Anyway, I'd gone to a other part of the jail, which was quite dark, and somebody was having issues. I wouldn't call it being taken over, but they were suffering quite badly with the effects of something that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to deal with that person because the living comes first in my books, always. So somebody from my other team now comes running up to me, "Vivian, you've got to come now." "No, I can't come now. I'll be with you in 5 minutes. Let me sort this person out. Just go back." Okay. They come running again. Vivian, no, you need to come now. I said, "Is everybody okay?" "Yes, they're okay, but you need to come now." I said, No, I can't come now. I need to deal with this person. Please, I'll be there in 5 minutes. This person that I was dealing with, they were being attacked, but not in a way, not with an attachment or anything like that. It wasn't nasty. They weren't going to die. They were just having these sensations that they never experienced before, and it upset them. So I'm dealing with that, was getting this person sorted out. Then this person come running up a third time and said, no, I need to take your hand now, and was dragging me away. And I said, look, to the person, I mean, I'd sorted them out to the point where they were calm, they were okay, they were not in a bad state. And I said, go outside, go and get yourself a drink, take your friend, calm down. I think we're going to have a break in about 10 minutes. Go and have a cigarette. Do it is whatever you need to do, and we'll meet you. I'll meet you downstairs afterwards. Okay. So they got up, they left, they were fine. I got dragged back to this room. Apparently, I had my name, and they counted all of them. They were all saying, your name has been called now 10 times.
Wow.
10. And I
Wow.
went, okay. And they said, oh, after the first time, they said, Vivian will be back in a minute. And they tried to work with this thing. It kept saying my name, not just my first name, my surname. And it wouldn't answer anything other than saying my name, which is why they got we need to get Vivian back. Thinking back on it now, was it a case of they were using that app to get me away from that area so they could do what they were going to do with this person without me being there to intervene, which is why the urgency of you've got to come here, leave that area, leave that space, leave that person to suffer, come back to this room. And I wasn't about to do that. I had to sort that person out first. So having your name called like that, is it always a good thing? Not necessarily. It depends why, the situation, where you are and what's happening at the time, I think, personally. Very clever the way they were using that to try to manipulate me, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Spirits are clever folk.
It's crazy. Yeah, exactly, Terry. Exactly.
It's like,
but especially when you're in an area that wasn't quite nice. What happened in that area was appalling, and people were put to death. And there was a reason why this girl was feeling the way she did and what was happening to her. So it was calming her down, making her understand. Don't let it get to you. It's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Please don't listen to people saying it. It was a form of an attack, but not like they were trying to take her over and things like that. It wasn't that situation. It's because she didn't understand it, it affected her. But yeah. And I was being pulled away. Don't tell her, don't tell her, don't tell her. It was like that. So yeah, you have to be careful how you interpret these things and why these things are happening. And yeah. I'm not dead. It's just a theory. I've not been dead yet. Well, I have been, but that's another story.
I've never been dead. I've electrocuted myself, but never been dead.
Dead many times, and I have come back many times, apparently. And the last time I came back, I took my old. I have a phobia, and that has come through from past life. Believe it or not, because my phobia is not a thing per se; it's a feeling. And because of that feeling, I have to use hand cream all the time. Whenever you see me going out and about anywhere, I've always got a tube of hand cream with me. If I haven't got hand cream, I'm spitting on my hands. That's how bad it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That is good.
I don't think I ever brought a phobia back with me, though.
Thing is, when I get taken over, which I can do quite often, and I could do it here now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It tends to be along the lines of trans mediumship, but it's more controlled and it's a natural occurrence, and it's only done with permissions. And if a medium is getting taken over like that on a ghost hunt, it's lazy mediumship. You do have control. You do. You just need, if you can't control it, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yep.
As a trans medium. Because it is frightening. It's frightening not for you, but frightening for other people that have to witness it.
And it's not just that. If you can't handle it as a person, how can you control anyone else?
Exactly. Yeah. So, Lois, what's your show about on Friday? You're going to be talking about whatever pops up.
First thing that pops up, I don't even know. Do you know what it is? I originally had a guest, and obviously due to health condition, that person couldn't make it. So it's kind of like, see when that happens, it kind of throws you off. So I'm just kind of like, we'll just talk about the first thing that pops up. You know, the more the merrier. I'm sure if somebody will throw me at a subject.
No, I got one.
What subject, Eric? Come on, you help us out here. Help a sister out.
To eventually someday explain time travel, I'll explain it.
Yeah,
That sounds quite a good. What was that, Mr. Seaton? Pop-up pirate.
You'll talk about pirates.
Pirates and time travel, that would be a good one. I'm sure my boys would love that.
Or time traveling pirates.
Yes.
Configuration. Oh my god. Ain't phone apps just listening to you talking, monitoring your location to pick out keywords to say.
No, actually, they're a bank of words that energy can pick from to make sentences, is what an app does.
So I use an Ovilus 3, and I don't use it on dictionary mode. I use it on, phonics.
Mm-hmm.
And I have broken the bank. When you say that they have pre-programmed words and things like that, when you listen to other Oviluses that are not used that much, they are just saying singular words. I am getting whole sentences out of that machine.
Yep.
And we did ask Bill Chappell about this, and he said that's not supposed to happen, but it does. So yeah, and I think Terry's might have broke its bank as well now. If you still have it, Terry, I don't know. When it comes to the phone apps, I use a phone. It's an old phone that hasn't even got a SIM card in it anymore. The SIM's dead.
Yep.
The phone itself is not a good phone anymore. So it still can't work how that is happening. Yes, the phones can listen to you because that's how you get your adverts and endorsements and things like that pop on. Like even Facebook does the same thing. But for it to be, I don't talk about my surname. There's things that are coming through that app. If it is the case that it's listening to me, how's it getting my dead brother's voice through after 8 years of him being dead?
Yeah, and it's not.
Yeah.
They're only getting the voice because it's actually there. It's not something that.
Yeah. We don't even have his voice recorded or his voicemail or anything on our phones. How could his voice come through? So that's I don't know. I don't know how that
you couldn't explain that one. I mean, your brother, as you say, for your brother's voice to come through after all those years,
after being dead for 8 years. How could that happen?
Well, not only that, apps can't change a what do you call it? An accent. So if it says it in a certain accent, then that's whatever energy is coming through. That's what it is.
But the thing is, his voice came through on somebody's phone. I've never met the woman. She wouldn't have my voice, and she certainly wouldn't have my brother. She wouldn't even know who my brother was. So how could his voice come through on her? Even if she used her phone, how would it come through on her phone?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was actually there, and his accent and his voice. You can tell when somebody has a certain voice. I can tell when my wife's calling me. I can tell everybody that I talk to. I can take their accent and I'm like, hey, yeah, I know who that is. You know.
Sorry, what did Jason say? I caught the tail end of his comment. How does that make more sense than your phone is listening?
Yeah, it is. It is listening all the time. And our phones are recording our activity as well. And it's relaying market research to our governments at all times.
And iPhone takes pictures every 5 seconds.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
See, to be honest, I used to think people used to, right, I don't mean this in a bad way, and I think we're all sceptical in some things, right? I used to think people were talking shite when they used to say that phones could listen and things could listen and Alexas and things like that. Until recently, when me and the guys were doing a show on the Titanic. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, like, I hadn't thought about it and I hadn't been looking for it in TikTok, but every second video on my TikTok that week came up with Titanic before even the show was even aired. And I was like, well, are there some things that I've been looking up, like to wear, like dresses and things like that? Hi, Sam. And I've found when the adverts come up for Facebook.
And it's been talking about dildos, vibrators. Oh, look at that cute kitty. Hello, boss.
And I've been looking up dresses to go out with and things like that, that suddenly in the adverts of Facebook, there's the same dresses that I've been looking at.
Do you know
but
what?
I haven't looked through Facebook.
Do you know what? For God's sake, don't look up Crocs, because you'll be getting adverts for Crocs. Just if you do, just send them all over to Nick.
I'll tell you what I'm not looking at. But it's freaky.
So Thursday night, what are you talking about? To the grave to the grave.
Hillside Strangler on Thursday. Yes.
I'll get you some bright yellow ones.
Yellow ones. That's because I sent Nick and Wayne the same picture because I didn't want Wayne feeling left out. Like I wanted to show him my Crocs. So
send Wayne pictures of Billy Idol. Because that's what Wayne looks like, Billy Idol.
Do you know, I never ever thought of that.
They're about the same age, aren't they? I don't know. Just put a leather jacket on Wayne and that's Billy Idol.
I need to check this one out.
Or Billy Idol? Hang on.
No, Wayne.
I think he looks like Fester from the Addams Family.
Uncle Fester. Do you know, that's been bugging me who said that? I couldn't remember who said that about Wayne. Now that you've said that. But yeah, it's like one of those ones, isn't it?
So this is what he looks like now.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, I can't see it.
Okay.
So this is what he used to look like.
Mm-hmm.
This is Wayne having an argument with Mark Manley. Just imagine that.
Oh, now that you're saying that, I can see Wayne.
Wayne with makeup on. Oh, you can't see that very well. You just got Wayne to pucker his lips out like that. Let's go, Wayne. Go like this. That's Billy Idol.
To be fair, I fancy his sister Violet. She's a good-looking woman, so she is.
Wayne, you're getting yellow ones. We've decided for you.
Wayne, is your sister single yet?
He's old enough to be your dad. You could be son of Billy Idol then.
Oh, sure, good.
She's got a meeting with a tree. Trees are nice. I'll have a word with Helen for you if you like.
He's lucky. I have no hair to spike, so.
George
Yeah.
Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
He's really shit hot at doing Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I've heard he's Jar Jar Binks.
Well,
She's a hermaphrodite.
Lois.
Oh, I don't know. Violet LeBlanc. So tomorrow we may or may not have a show on tomorrow. It all depends on Dan. I could read another from my book, but if I do that, I'll do it on my own. If I can get a guest on, I will. I've been quite lazy with guests, to be honest, because I've had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at work. Work's been very hard, very busy. I might even get and interview Lois, because Lois hasn't been interviewed properly. And I really will be probing her into parts where she's never been probed before. And I'm sure she will enjoy it.
that's, thank God. If only you could give me the winning lottery numbers. I'm up for that. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, I'll be there to be probed.
So, we will have tears, laughter, and lots of fuck yous tomorrow. So, apologies in advance. But no, it might be just a nice thing to just interview Lois. And what I might do is, for a period of time, just interview some of the show hosts, not just from the Simply Spooky Network, but the Things Network as well. So tomorrow, I'm going to start with Lois, I think. That might be a good idea. Start with Lois. So she'll kick things off.
Good choice, Chuck. Fuck you, Dan. I'm popular.
To be honest, like, she's like my right hand woman, and I couldn't do half the stuff on the Simply Spooky Network without her. She's been like a rock to me. So just maybe to kick it off with Lois might be a nice thing to do. And also Dan, like, Dan's a rock, but I'm not going to interview him. Oh, it would be there for hours. So I'm going to start with Lois. I know Jeremy York has agreed to come on at some point. I need to send him some dates, so it'll be nice to sort of just mix and match across the networks. I think that would work quite well.
Definitely.
So Wayne is free. Yes, Wayne, I need to do you as well. That's I'm going to reword that. Yes, we need to get you on as well, Wayne. Don't you worry, but we're going to get you on your own. So so there's no interference, so to speak. So yes, Jason says, these comments are coming in so quick, I'm losing them. That's a must see. What, probing Lois? Yes. Not anal probing. She's got lots of more holes than just that.
I must remember to wear my mankini. See, Eileen's doing this. Mr. Seaton, you're not talking about me. Morning, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Good morning. Oh, bless her. She's cold.
No,
we don't want to get hot, and we don't want to be hot like Europe at the moment. It's just ridiculous. England and Scotland are okay at the moment, aren't we, Lois?
Yeah, we're all good.
We're okay. So
what was that?
No talking about a darn good probe.
Nice. I just want to point out that if you look at Eric, if you see his arm, it goes down, and at the end you've got the claws. Can you see what I'm looking at? He's got the claws that come out at the end of his hand, at the end of his arm, the other shoulder. That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep, I can see the claws. Hey, Bobby. Long time no see.
Bobby.
Hope you're well, handsome.
I hope you're well, young man. And Mrs.
You definitely. I definitely need to get him on. again. Bobby, he was really interesting.
Do you know, it's been about a year and a half since I've had Bobby on.
Really?
It's been a long time, Bobby.
I like Bobby.
He's a nice, but don't give him a big head because he will get a big head. I'm going to Florida and staying at his house. Do you want to come with me, Lois?
Ooh, I'll come
Yeah,
with pleasure. I love speaking to him.
Just go stay with Bobby. Oh, for God's sake, Bobby.
Get well
Just get
soon,
better
honey.
soon.
Remember. So please keep your eyes on everything. Just my
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, true.
Definitely.
See,
I'm
Bobby's
getting
about to go available. Just have a pie, big party at his house.
brilliant. I'm packing my bags just now. Fucking yes. Let's go.
Let's go. Can you imagine me and Lois loose in Florida? Oh, we'd be arrested, Lois.
I know. What happens in Florida stays in Florida.
But just remember, they're quite strict in Florida, and everyone carries guns, and they've got the death penalty out there still.
There goes my fun. Hit the pub. Would be awesome.
Definitely will be arrested if we hit the pubs.
Never had COVID, never jabbed it, and went out every day. Go. You're just lucky. She'll be procedures.
Yeah, but they have iron brew, so it would be like iron brew and vodka, iron brew and gin, iron brew and
No. Jack Daniels and Coke can't beat it.
Yeah.
Have you tried Jack Daniels and iron brew?
No, I don't like the thought yet. No.
Try it.
Now, I brew and vodka would be good.
Yeah. I'm not too keen on vodka. That's why I stopped drinking it. Nah.
Well, like or brandy.
I discovered a new drink, guys. You should all try this. If you like gin, you need to try blue slush puppies. You know, the blue slushies, the raspberry flavoured slushies. And it's got to be Bombay Sapphire Gin. That is the summertime drink for me. You got to make sure that it's a double.
I prefer a cosmopolitan if I had to go cocktail.
Oh, look at
And
you
that's
go posh.
Posh. Have you seen me? My God. If I ever go to America, I want to visit the Bonnie. Actually, sounds good. Sarah Louise. Any alcohol's good. Oh. Yuck.
I don't care. The golden water is terrible.
It's like drinking No.
No. Right, guys, we're going to wrap this show up. But thank you for watching, everyone in the chat. We did talk about Cannibals. Honestly, if you missed it, you're going to have to watch it on catch up. But next week on Tuesday, we are talking about, can history really repeat itself? So that will be an interesting one. I will be back tomorrow night on the Simply Spooky Network, probing Lois about who she is, where she comes from, what is she about, and what does she do, and is she any good? And if she's not, what does she do that's bad? So we'll be going right the way. We'll find out anything and anything about Lois. So if you have any questions, anything that you want to put to Lois but you're too frightened to ask, tomorrow night would be your chance. You can either put them in the chat tomorrow night, or you can message me privately and I will put them to her, so long as they're not too rude. Okay?
Or you could DM me them.
I'm sure that we're all going to be watching tomorrow.
Lord.
So, so tomorrow we're going to be finding out who Lois is and what is she really about and what makes her tick. Okay? So this is going to be an interesting one tomorrow. So I hope you can join us then. Thursday night on the Simply Spooky Network, To the Grave and Back again at 8 o'clock. And on Friday night, we do have the Friday Night Frighteners, which is always good for a laugh. So if you're feeling down, need cheering up, want
Come
to,
over, please.
yeah, go and head over to Frighteners, because I guarantee you at some point you will laugh. It happens every week for me, whether I want to or not. I try not to laugh, but I do. So yeah, check out the gang on Friday night. Bri will be there, English will be there, Nick will be there, and who have I missed?
Well, apart from that good-looking Scottish chick, everybody else.
Yeah. Just go and check him out. He's a good
Yeah,
laugh.
come along.
So I'm going to say good night now, and thank you to everyone in the chat. But you guys, I'm going to throw it out to you. Eric?
Have a good night. Be safe.
Lo?
Sweet dreams.